Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His going to prison. If you got...
I know you. I know you. I know you. Shut up. Shut up. I know you. Ain't no mystery, man. I know you though. I know you though. I know you though. I know.
I said a while ago when T.I.'s son King was getting a lot of flack and a lot of heat in the media, that to me he just looked like a young kid that wanted to prove to his father that he was a man too.
King Harris's whole situation just went from bad to worse. Tiny has hit T.I. with divorce papers right after King's arrest, and word is T.I. straight up disowned his own son after the mess. Can you imagine how wild that is? What makes this even crazier is that T.I. isn't even trying to fight the divorce or patch things up. The whole family's in shambles, pointing fingers and throwing blame left and right. Now the big question is, who's really responsible for this disaster? The parents who gave King everything on a silver platter, or King himself for tossing it all away just to chase that so-called gangster lifestyle? Tiny and T, I calling it quits might shock the public since they've been riding together for decades and survived scandal after scandal. But insiders say cracks had been there for years, and the breaking point came in October 2024. That's when King's reckless arrest dragged the whole family back into the spotlight, making it impossible to hide the tension anymore. King had been cruising out of a gas station in his BMW, driving wild as usual, when he almost smashed into a police car. Bad timing doesn't even cover it, because when the cops pulled him over, things spiraled instantly. They caught the smell of weed as soon as they leaned in, and then spotted a gun tucked right into his waistband. At that point, it was already looking ugly for King.
All right, I need you to step out the vehicle.
What you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
There's guns right here.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You got to take.
There's no safety.
Just take
Okay.
the clip out.
Well, I'm not going to mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. You'd step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
Are you scared?
I'm going to be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just going to take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure of this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
But here's where it gets downright shocking. Once they cuffed him and ran his name, the system lit up with a 2022 outstanding warrant. Speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI. King's whole record came crashing back, making his latest stunt even more explosive. King could have slipped away clean that night if he had just chilled and played it smart. But nah, all his old mistakes came crashing back to haunt him. And once that arrest footage leaked online, the internet shredded him to pieces like vultures circling. One thing was obvious in that clip. King finally realized he crossed a line he couldn't talk his way out of. In the 30-minute video, he wasn't wildin' or acting out. Instead, you could actually see regret all over his face. It's like he knew the only way to keep this from getting worse was to play along and stay calm. And let's be real, that had to take every ounce of restraint for someone like King. We've all seen how reckless he acts on social media, but this video showed the total opposite side of him. Even the cop arresting him seemed impressed that King stayed so composed through the chaos. But staying cool didn't save him. He still ended up locked in DeKalb County Jail before being shuffled over to Pickens County once that old warrant got cleared up. When the clip went viral, fans jumped in the comments and tore him apart. One person straight up called him a trust fund prison punk, and the internet ate it up, showering the comment with likes. Another one blasted him, saying he thinks mommy and daddy's money will always save him, while pretending he came up from nothing. But here's the kicker. King wasn't the only one paying the price. His mess exploded right into his parents' marriage, turning those old cracks into a full-blown split. Ty tried to play the role of the heartbroken father, but Tiny wasn't having it. She was furious and came with receipts, flat out listing King's downward spiral as the final straw in her divorce papers. Shockingly, T.I. didn't even bother fighting back. He just let it ride, saying he did his job as a dad and that King brought this chaos on himself. As cold as it may sound, the truth is, T.I. saw this storm coming years ago. Back in 2022, when King first started going viral for his wild antics, T.I. went online practically begging his son to slow down. He warned that King was headed down a dangerous road and that jail was waiting if he didn't wise up.
Hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If you got to keep that shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had the conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
T.I. even admitted he had been telling Tiny and King's grandmother the same thing, that they needed to keep a close eye on him before he threw his whole future away. And I wasn't just preaching from nowhere. He was speaking from experience. He had already lived that life, done the prison time, and paid the price. He knew exactly where that road led, and he didn't want to watch his son crash into the same fate. But Tiny wasn't buying that narrative one bit. In fact, she flipped it and used it as ammo against him in the divorce battle. She claimed I had failed as a father, that if he had been more present, more strict, and less distracted, King would have never strayed so far off track. And honestly, she had receipts to back it up. From the moment Tiny got pregnant, T.I. was in and out of prison. By the time he was really out, King had already grown used to living without a father around. Even when T.I. was physically there, it didn't change much because, allegedly, he just shipped King off to his grandmother's house, leaving him without that steady guidance he clearly needed. King once admitted that even though his parents were swimming in money, he didn't actually grow up with it. Because he was living at his grandma's house most of the time, the only moments he got to step foot in his parents' mansion were when cameras were rolling for their reality TV show. Imagine that. With a setup like this, it's no wonder King went searching for excitement outside the house, and every stunt he pulled dragged him closer to a jail cell. One of the clearest signs that things were spiraling came with his infamous Waffle House meltdown in 2022. The chaos started over something so small. It was just a worker messing up his order by adding pickles when he didn't even want them. That tiny mistake lit a fuse, and King went off in a screaming match with the employee. And he didn't stop there. He filmed the entire scene himself and blasted it out on social media like it was something to brag about.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File show. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
But instead of making him look hard, the video backfired completely. People dragged him online, calling him entitled and out of control. Fans even questioned why T.I. was letting King run around unchecked like a spoiled brat instead of putting him in check. So when T.I. went online making that video warning King, Tiny was furious. She felt like all that tough talk should have happened years ago, when King actually needed guidance. Not now, after the damage was already done. Things cooled off for a minute, but T.I.'s disappointment in his son couldn't stay buried forever. And it all came boiling out during an Atlanta Falcons game when father and son exploded into a full-blown argument that turned physical in front of everyone. It all started when King made comments about not growing up with privilege. That struck a nerve with T.I., who jumped in quick to set the record straight, reminding King that he literally grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. But King wasn't having it. Next thing you know, fists were flying, and the cameras caught every second of it. The fight was no little scuffle either. It looked like T.I. was ready to forget this was his own son and throw down like he was squaring up with a grown man.
To make him look better, he said shit he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, Tip used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every
and
day.
throw tears.
I know you capping. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut up.
I know you
Ain't no
though.
mystery about here.
I know you though.
Man,
I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. The clip went viral in minutes, racking up thousands of likes, with people online actually praising T.I. for finally putting his foot down. Comments poured in, saying stuff like, he should have busted him a long time ago, and when you don't check your kid, they turn on you. Others added, King's been out of control, pray for that family. But while the internet cheered, Tiny was livid. She couldn't stand watching T.I. humiliate their son in public like that. And to make things worse, when she got home, she discovered T.I. had kicked King out of the house completely, forcing him to survive on his own. To Tiny, that was going way too far, and that decision cracked their marriage even deeper, a crack that eventually pushed her to finally cut T.I. off. Another bomb Tiny dropped in those divorce papers was T.I.'s long history of cheating and violence. For years, she stood by while he stepped out on their marriage, only for him to spin it like he had changed. But the lies piled up, and by the time King spiraled into his own chaos, Tiny wasn't just mad at her son, she was staring at the man who raised him and realizing the cycle never stopped. That's why she finally cut T.I. off. What crushed Tiny the most was seeing that King wasn't building his own path. He was copying his dad's blueprint step for step. Those jail stints that once built T.Y.'s tough guy reputation are now the same blueprint King is crashing into. So when T.I. turned his back and disowned King after the arrest, Tiny snapped. Because to her, he wasn't just disowning his son, he was disowning a mirror image of himself. That's when those divorce papers hit the table. And you can see how desperate King is for his father's approval by the way he's always flexing guns and chasing street cred. After that arrest footage blew up online, fans even joked that King walked straight into the situation just to lock in jail time and boost his image as a real one. Some people online even claimed he finally earned the rugged title he's been chasing for years, all just to get his dad's respect. And this isn't the first time King's antics forced T.I. to check him. Remember when King and Boozie's son, Tootie Raw, were filming a music video? Instead of focusing on the shoot, they were busy flashing guns like they were in some trap house. That's when both dads stepped in.
So motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Huh?
But when you got drugs, it ain't like
I know that.
y'all got drugs around those
legal guns. That called
It's not legal.
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you could hear the frustration dripping from T.I.'s voice as he grilled King, asking why he was so focused on acting tough when there were girls around. It spiraled into a full-on lecture caught on camera, showing just how far King had gone to prove an image instead of building a future. T.I. didn't mince words when it came to guns. He warned King and Boozie's son point blank that one wrong move, one illegal slip-up, and their whole lives could be ruined. He and Boozie were dead serious in that moment, and you could see it written all over their faces. On the outside, it looked like T.I. was really trying to drill the message into King's head to make him see that the road he was on was headed straight for a jail cell. But when Tiny found out what went down, she wasn't clapping for T.I., she was heated. Not because she supported King flexing guns, but because she felt T.I. was late to the party and putting their son's mess out in public. In her eyes, King was only repeating the behavior he'd watched his dad do for years. But the straw that broke the camel's back, King's baby mama drama. T.I. went on a podcast and casually announced he was about to become a grandfather again because King had a baby on the way.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
And Tiny lost it. To her, it sounded like T.I. was co-signing their son's reckless choices instead of calling them out. The situation was messy from the jump. Rumors swirled that King's baby mama, Big Nana, was way older than him, and whispers claimed she only got with him to chase a bag while he was too naive to see the setup. But King didn't care one bit. He was hyped. By the time their son was born in November 2024, King was over the moon, posting nonstop and bragging about stepping into his new role as a father. King even dropped a track called Dear Son, rapping about stepping up as a dad and captioning his post. November 5th, 8:09 a.m. Welcome, King Jr. Time to take over.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired. You ain't getting no sleep. And the truth be told, before this look, I ain't been getting no sleep. You know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle. Lifestyle just lifing. You know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And, he like to walk around the house. So,
For a moment, it actually looked like King was ready to grow, like fatherhood was finally calming him down and giving him a reason to move different. For Tiny, that was the one bright spot, watching King be a present dad, correcting the very mistakes T.I. made when King was little. But of course, the timing couldn't have been worse. While King was online flexing his new proud dad role, his messy arrest video was going viral again, reminding the world he was still knee-deep in trouble. Ty tried to stand by him, but the disappointment was written all over his face, and Tiny couldn't forgive that. She might have overlooked the cheating, the scandals, even the chaos. But the moment T.I. showed he was so ashamed of his own son that he didn't want to share a roof with him, that broke her heart completely. So when those divorce papers landed, nobody was shocked. It was just the final blow in a marriage that had been cracking for years. And Tiny? She's done. No more hiding. No more covering. She's calling it exactly how she sees it. The only real question left is, what's T.I. gonna do next? If he stays silent with Tiny, the same way he's been with King, this family might already be finished. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next one.